They talked about the trip you'd take together, the apartment, the life. They said your name in sentences about the future like it was the most natural thing in the world, like it was already real, like it was only a matter of time. And you held on to those words. You made decisions based on them. You waited. The future never came. And now you're trying to figure out how someone could say all of that and mean none of it. Here's the answer. Future faking is when someone makes promises, paints pictures of a shared future, and builds you up with plans they have no real intention of following through on, in order to keep you emotionally invested and compliant in the present. It's not always a deliberate lie in the traditional sense. Some people who do this genuinely feel the excitement of the future they're describing in the moment they're describing it. They mean it. Right then. But the feeling doesn't last, the follow-through never comes, and the pattern repeats. Whether it's calculated or impulsive doesn't change the effect on you. You built your hope on something that was never being built on the other end. It usually feels like one of the most romantic things that's ever happened to you. They bring up the future unprompted. They're enthusiastic about it. They use specific details, a city, a timeline, a version of your life together that sounds exactly like what you want. And because they brought it up, because you didn't ask for it, it feels genuine. It also works as a reset button. Every time things get difficult, every time you start to pull back, raise a concern, or consider leaving, suddenly the future reappears. A new promise, a new plan, a renewed sense of where this is all going, and you stay. Because how could you leave right now? Things are finally moving forward. That's the mechanism. The future isn't a destination, it's a leash. The pattern has a rhythm once you know to look for it. Things stall or get hard. You start to feel the distance between what was promised and what's actually happening. You bring it up or pull back emotionally. Then comes the future. A trip gets planned, a timeline gets mentioned. A conversation happens that makes everything feel possible again. The tension dissolves. You reinvest. Time passes. Things stall again. If you've lived this, you know exactly what I'm describing. That cycle, hope, stagnation, renewed promise, hope again, can go on for years. Because every time you're about to let go, something gets dangled just far enough ahead to keep you reaching. The aftermath is a particular kind of grief, because you're not just mourning the relationship. You're mourning a future that felt real to you. You made internal commitments to it. You turned down other things for it. You organized your expectations around it. And when it becomes clear that future was never real, there's a specific kind of shame that comes with it, a feeling that you should have known, that you were naive, that you let yourself be fooled by words. But here's what I want you to understand about that shame. The future they described was detailed. It was warm. It was tailored to exactly what you wanted. It came from someone who was supposed to know you, who was supposed to be on your side. Believing it wasn't foolishness. It was a completely reasonable response to what you were being told by someone you trusted. You didn't fail to see through it. You were shown a door and told it would open. That's not the same as being naive. So how do you spot it before you're 2 years deep? Watch the distance between words and movement. Anyone can talk about the future. What matters is whether the present is actually moving toward it. Do plans get made and then quietly unmade? Does the timeline keep shifting? Is there always a reason why now isn't the right time, but soon definitely will be? Pay attention to what happens when you bring up the future yourself. A person who genuinely intends to build something with you will engage with that conversation. They might be cautious, they might want to think it through, but they'll be present in it. A future faker gets uncomfortable when you hold them to specifics. The vision is vivid when they're offering it. It gets vague when you ask for details. And most telling of all, notice when the promises appear. If they tend to arrive right at the moment you're pulling back or expressing doubt, that timing is not a coincidence. If you're in this right now, I want to give you one question to sit with. If no future was ever promised, if everything was exactly as it is right now, with no plans, no timeline, no vision of what's coming, would you still choose to be here? That question cuts through everything, because the future should be something you're building together in the present, not something being used to manage your decision to stay. You deserve someone whose actions are moving toward you, not just their words. And if this helped you name something you've been carrying, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. I'll see you in the next one.